In the bustling streets of Ibadan, Ayoola hustled every day to keep his small family comfortable. His job at the textile factory had been his lifeline for over a decade, but that Thursday afternoon felt different as he entered his boss's office. "Ayoola," Mr. Johnson started, his tone unusually cold. "We have to let you go." Ayoola's heart sank. "What do you mean, sir? Have I done something wrong?" Mr. Johnson avoided his eyes. "It's not about you, just business decisions." Ayoola blinked, trying to understand. Everyone in the factory knew that Johnson's nephew, Tunda, had been looking to take over someone's role to secure his future. "But sir," Ayoola protested, "I've been here for years. My family—" "I'm sorry, Ayoola." Mr. Johnson cut him off, refusing to look up. "There's nothing I can do." Ayoola left the office, heart heavy, his mind racing. Outside, Tunde leaned against his flashy car, smirking. Uncle finally did it." "Don't worry, bro. Maybe next time," he said, a mocking tone lacing his words. Ayoola clenched his fists but walked away, his pride in tatters. At home, Ayoola's wife, Funke, noticed instantly that something was wrong. "Ayoola, what happened?" she asked, concerned. He dropped heavily onto a chair. "They sacked me, Funke, just like that," he whispered, eyes clouding with anger and humiliation. Funke sat beside him, holding his hand tight. "What will we do now?" Their son, Deji, overheard from the doorway. "Baba, it'll be okay." Ayoola forced a smile for his son, but inside, doubt gnawed at him. "We have to think of something. We can't fall apart." He looked around his modest home, feeling a mix of love and suffocation. The days that followed were filled with stress and struggle. Ayoola tried everything, but work was scarce. He would sit for hours, staring into space, anger and shame battling within him. "This is not fair," Ayoola said one night. "After everything, they just use me." Funke, always the rock, tried to be positive. "We'll manage somehow. We'll pull through." But Ayoola could see the fear in her eyes every time she checked their accounts, and it enraged him more. He felt he had let them down. One afternoon, while Ayoola was standing outside, contemplating his next move, a neighbor, Mama Toby, stopped by. "I hear them factory boys gossiping," she started. "They say Tunde is already causing trouble there. You know how he is." Ayoola nodded. Tunde was known for his arrogance and abuse of power. Deji, watching from the window, ran out to his father. "Baba, why don't we pray for that man? Maybe something will change," he proposed, eyes hopeful. Ayoola sighed, rubbing his son's head. "Pray?" he murmured. "When everything feels so unfair?" Yet Deji's suggestion lingered. That night, Ayoola stayed up, replaying Tunde's smirk and Mr. Johnson's dismissive words again and again. His anger was a fire, but beneath it, something else stirred. A plan. The next morning, Ayoola decided to visit the factory. Not for a confrontation, but to see if he could gather more about Tunde's growing indiscretions. As he approached the tall gates, a former colleague whispered, "Ayoola, you should see the complaints piling against Tunde. He's careless." Ayoola felt a spark of hope. "You think they'd listen if someone higher up saw this?" he asked, visions of justice forming. The worker shrugged. "Only if enough people speak up." Ayoola's heart raced as he left, formulating a plan for everyone to see the truth. Deji noticed his father's new determination. "You look happier, Baba," he said one evening. Ayoola nodded. "Things will change, my son. I'll make sure they do." Ayoola began to gather discreetly all he needed. Records of Tunde's mistakes, late deliveries, rumors confirmed by many, and allies in the factory who were also tired of Tunde's antics. He worked silently, building a case strong enough to bring down the nephew who had wrongfully replaced him. But as he stitched his revenge together, the night before he planned to present it, Ayoola received an unexpected call from Mr. Johnson. His voice was shaky, anxious. "Ayoola," he said, "I need to talk to you. It's about the factory. And Tunde." Ayoola gripped the phone tighter, heart pounding. Something big was coming, and he had to be ready for whatever revelation awaited. Ayoola arrived at Mr. Johnson's residence in Agodi. He had barely knocked when the door swung open, revealing a disheveled Mr. Johnson. The man looked worn, his usual sharp demeanor absent. "Come in, Ayoola," he said, his voice shaking. They settled in the living room. Johnson did not waste time. "Tunde, he's gone too far." he confessed, his eyes brimming with regret. He's been risking everything for us all. Ayoola felt a surge of satisfaction beneath his troubled doubt. Johnson's admission was unexpected, but it confirmed much. "So you're saying you want me back?" Ayoola asked, keeping his tone even, though his heart pounded. "But it's complicated," Johnson replied, almost pleading. "I need proof. Actual documents, more than just words." Ayoola grunted. The irony of Johnson needing his help twisted a bitter smile on his lips. "I thought you were behind him, no matter what." That evening, back at his own home, Ayoola sorted through the evidence he had gathered. Funko watched from the kitchen doorway, uncertain of his emotional state. Her gentle voice broke the silence. "You have what you need, Ayoola, but to what end?" She didn't directly question his motive, but the weight of her words hung between them, a silent reminder of the toll vengeance could take. The next morning, Ayoola moved forward with renewed resolve. He met with factory colleagues who also wanted to put an end to Tunde's shenanigans. As they spoke, Ayoola's thoughts drifted to Deji's words of prayer, a concept so foreign at that moment. The day was spent gathering signatures and confirmations, a collective stand against Tunde. As Ayoola left the factory, he noticed Tunde's car parked outside a bar. It was time to confront the face of his ire. He hesitated, then pushed on, fueled by the determination to right many wrongs. Inside the bar, the smell of stale beer and sweat was overpowering, and there sat Tunde, surrounded by a few sycophants. Ayoola approached deliberately, his eyes fixed on Tunde, who was mid-laugh. "Tunde," Ayoola started, his voice cutting through the noise. "We need to talk." Tunde's smile faltered. Ayoola, didn't realize you were still hanging around," he slurred, lifting his drink in mock salute. "I know what you've done," Ayoola stated flatly, resting his hands on the table. "Everyone knows." Tunde's gaze turned hard and defensive, the bravado slipping. "What exactly are you trying to do, Ayoola? You think you can just come here and intimidate me?" He rose, staggered slightly, yet maintaining eye contact. Ayoola kept his voice low, controlling his anger. "I'm not trying to intimidate. Just letting you know your time is up." The confrontation drew stares, but Ayoola didn't back down. "They will when faced with the truth, and you know it, Tunde. You know you've gone too far." A silence settled, everyone waiting for Tunde's reaction. Ayoola's heart thundered as he stood his ground. His courage was a startling mix of fear and righteousness, risking everything on this moment of exposure. Back home, Funko waited eagerly. Ayoola recounted the afternoon, his voice strained but steady. "Tunde won't back down easily," he admitted, "but neither will we." His resolve was like steel, though a deep unease lingered beneath it all. As night closed in, Ayoola found himself alone in the small room they had converted into a work area. He reviewed the documents and kept hearing Deji's innocent suggestion, "Why don't we pray for that man?" Ayoola's thoughts were tumultuous, torn between his desire for justice and the wisdom of his son. Finally, his pride gave way. Falling to his knees, he whispered, "God, I don't know what to do. This is heavy. Show me a different way." The next day brought news that felt surreal. Mr. Johnson called again, urgently summoning Ayoola to the factory. As he arrived, he saw a gathering of the workers outside, whispering among themselves. Johnson stepped forward. "Ayoola, you were right. We've taken testimonies, and I've realized I can't let Tunde continue." His voice was both a relief and a burden lifted, but what struck Ayoola the most was what followed. "I've decided to step away too," Johnson continued, visibly humbled. "We'll need a new start. You could be part of rebuilding this place, Ayoola." In the ensuing days, things happened quickly. Tunde's resignation blazed through the factory like wildfire, and Ayoola's reinstatement was met with cautious optimism. But amidst the elation, Ayoola found himself looking back on the events that transpired.
Thank you so much for listening to this intriguing story. I hope it touched you or taught you something. For more stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the page. And guys, if you'd like to see a part 2, or you have thoughts on what happened, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next story.